Speaking of rooting for someone.
Oh, Lord, where's this going?
Because it's my turn. I'm going to go now.
Yeah.
It's the round robin style. Speaking of rooting for someone, I'm really happy that Ralph Macchio and William Zabka are just getting their kicks in for season after season.
Literally? Got it.
Cobra Kai came back, dropped another 6-8 episodes. I don't really care. It's still doing the same thing that it did for the first couple seasons, which is, well, we've got these great movies, and they got these great plots where one is like a big competition with the local boys, and then it grows, and then there's a bigger competition, but it's still mostly local boys. And then he's got to go, like, figure out his roots, and then that doesn't go great because there's people over there. They're like, nah, you can't figure out your roots over here. Go back. And then there's more people later. They're still doing that. Well, someone's going to go do that part of the storyline, but we're not all there. Now they're all about to go out of country for a big competition.
International Cobra Kai?
International, as the movies did. Eventually, they got to get out of the valley. Like someone who didn't grow up in San Fernando.
They got to get out of the strip mall dojo?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So I'm satisfied with the series, although this season
Is this the last
just
season?
the build-up to leaving the country and getting the tournament started. They haven't started that tournament. And obviously, it's teenagers. There's going to be some shenanigans.
Shenanigans and teenage drama.
Spain, you gotta have shenanigans. in
Spain?
I know it's not. I don't listen. We're talking season 6 budgets. Like they're not sending them to Japan.
Well, I did think maybe we go somewhere in the Asian world.
Well, it's more like
No,
they
yeah.
did kind of bring that element in. They do have a couple parts where they're like, no, we're in Japan right now. We're
So they're
at the
not going
original place. It's just this one hillside that we only ever go to that hillside in Japan.
Is this rooted or related to Mr. Miyagi?
It totally is, and that's the big thing, is that, like, I'm watching the show, and last time I brought this up, I was like, I just enjoy that they're getting the characters from the old movies back and giving them another chance to kick around these pieces of intellectual property that they're in the middle of, because they're like 30 years into the Karate Kid universe. It's still the Ralph Macchio, aka Daniel LaRusso.
Oh, yeah.
And he's still the same guy. So every time they bring someone back, they're like, do you remember fighting me when you were 13?
Lord.
Yes, I do. I do remember that.
Of course you do.
I haven't seen you in 30 years. Everything else has happened in my life, but your face, I remember punching it. So they had some characters come back last season. They bring them back again this season. That's enjoyable. And full disclosure, I didn't pull a full-on Ed and watch all the previous seasons. I just watched season 5 again to really get back up to speed. There's a lot of teenage drama in seasons 1 through 5. So I'm like, there's not enough Zabka getting his S together and becoming like getting the path figured out. Because that's where the original movies, that's what they're paying off, is that you had Ralph Macchio's character in the original movies. You understood what was going on with him. But after the first movie and a little bit of the second movie, you never really got Billy Zabka's character back or figured out what he did with his life or himself. And he's like, he was at the top of his game. He was an a-hole. Maybe kind of not great guy, but he was at the top of his game. High school, where'd he go? Probably Valley College, if anywhere. I mean,
It did not
or
work out.
Pierce.
The way this series picked up,
The
no.
series picks up with him having not worked it out for 30 years straight.
Which was a great place to
Which was
start. Yeah.
so good. So then there's so much to build from because you actually get to fix things. He actually gets to try stuff. He does things wrong. And so now we're finally at the point where he's getting a lot of stuff right. There's a lot of support from the other cast. And it's really just this one main character that comes back that is like kind of my big payoff. If you like the original movies and then how they've integrated Martin Kove, that's the original Sunsai of Billy Zabka's character. He's the original other guy who gets his nose by Miyagi after the big fight. I think it's part of the beginning of the second movie, or is it the...
Well, he had a very serious, successful dojo that,
Yes.
you know, if you were a badass, that's the
that's where
belong.
you'd go.
And
so-
you weren't in Mr. Miyagi's backyard painting.
Again,
and
also, his dojo gets blown up in the first original movie. Because
Literally or figuratively?
No, figuratively. In the original Karate Kid, his star loses the fight to an unknown who's trained for 6 months.
Yeah.
Who's ever going to go back to Cobra Kai? That wraps Cobra Kai in that universe. The whole series, Cobra Kai, is bringing that back to life. Well, Martin Kove's not dead, so he came back. And he's just as bad as he was before.
Yeah, he comes back as a
And he
great
has,
villain.
like,
Yeah.
Very many villain levels, and he does many things, including Peyton List, who's in, what was the School Spirit,
Yeah,
right?
School Spirits. I really liked her in that. Yeah.
She's great in that, and I'm glad that she expanded from the karate universe. That's his secret granddaughter, and there's a whole secret thing that they're doing during season 5, and then that implodes, except it doesn't. So season 6 has got some good pieces of the puzzle that are like clicking into place and starting to make the machine work. And so I'm really excited for where they're going to go, where they're going to have an out-of-country tournament. It's including every big player. Everyone's against each other. So it's like kind of like, how the tournaments worked in the movies. There's a lot of build-up, and then you got to get through like all these fights and stuff. So next season, I don't know when it's going to drop, but I'm excited. And there's 6 seasons of teenage fighting to go watch if you want to.
Yeah, apparently season 6 is broken into 3 parts.
Ugh.
You'll get one more part this year, and then another part next year.
Yeah. Well, that's my guess was that like, oh, right, well, it's a lot easier to figure out these budgets if you're doing all this stuff at the same time and then rolling out pieces.
Oh, no. Supposedly it's final season.
Oh, no.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're paralleling where the movies went, it's not like you're going to suddenly switch to, what was
Hilary Swank's character?
It's not like you're switching to Hilary Swank in season 8. She's like, I'm going to take over all the car dealerships and dojos. No. Because the connecting factor was, Miyagi, and he's not in it. So it makes more sense if it's a Billy Zabka grown-up version of the 3 movies that we got from Daniel LaRusso's, like, kid version, where he progresses and he grows up.
Yeah.
And you obviously see now in the series, he didn't resolve all of his issues. He's still got some fighting issues, irritation with people that don't agree with me. But having multiple car dealerships and a whole life and kids, and he hasn't not figured a lot of stuff out. Whereas the other character's like, no, that basically unplugged me, and I have not figured out where to plug back in yet.
I will just put it out there for the producers of this. Maybe it's not all in the can, but you hit upon something. I think there could be an international judge who's gone on to fame, Hilary Swank, and now she's judging everybody.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They bring so many
Come
back.
on,
I don't
bring
know
a
where you're
cameo.
doing it.
Bring
I
a
don't know.
cameo. We're just saying.
You do get your favorite cameo. Sean Kanan is back in season 6.
Yeah.
Deacon.
Yeah, he's back.
He is?
He was in season 5.
I may need to.
I remember bringing up season 5,
Now-
and you were looking at the cast like, what is in it? I'm like, I haven't watched all the episodes yet. I don't remember. I don't know. Now I know. It wasn't that great in season 5. Season 6, he's got a lot more screen time. It's got a lot of. He's got some build up and some like fun payoffs where you're like, oh, he's
Well,
very.
listen.
He's badass. Oh,
When
he's
you
got some
stay
humor.
ready, you don't have to beat. You are. Wait, it's a saying.
If you stay ready, then you are ready?
Yeah.
If you,
You don't have
if you
to get
stay
ready?
then you don't have to get ready.
Right, because I feel like Sean Kane is his name.
Kanan, I thought.
Yeah.
Kanan, even better for California, Sean Kanan. Because he's on our soap opera Bold and the Beautiful, he is totally ready. I've seen him do stand-up in real life. No, he is ready for this opportunity. I'm happy they've expanded it.